Our next presenter is Jameel Durrani, and the presentation is Revolutionizing Pleural Drainage and Beyond, the Durrani Sutureless Chest Tube Kit, the JD-3000.
Good afternoon. My name is Durrani. My presentation is about the silicone sutureless chest tubes. Chest tubes, as most of the clinicians in the room know, are a very common procedure. Approximately 1 million chest tubes are placed every year in the US. Unfortunately, we carry a very high risk of complications with them. The cited complications range anywhere from 9% to 40%. These complications lead to a very suboptimal and poor patient experience. It can lead to ineffective drainage, infection, bleeding, lung injuries, and also the risk of malposition and dislodgement. Chest tubes have been placed since Roman times. Unfortunately, this is one of the least developed aspects of current critical care medicine. Our tubes and placement devices are essentially glorified spears, which are very long needles. The market is huge. As per the latest analysis, the current market till last year was 2.3 billion, and it is projected to increase to 3.5 billion by the end of this decade. And the annual growth rate is 5%. The drivers for these are the aging population, COPD, CHF, and cancer. These are the three most common diagnoses that this procedure applies to. The solution that we are proposing and offering is the JD-3000 silicone chest tube kits. These kits are made out of silicone. They are sutureless retention, and they have a safer way of placing them with a blunt device. This is the actual kit, that is the silicone chest tube with the stylet device, which is currently in a market-ready status. The schematic diagram shows how the device is avoiding the exposure of the lung surface to injury. We completed a SIM model validation study compared to the currently available conventional devices. This is a time data to show how much time it took to place the device, and the stylet, safety stylet in the blue is the lowest time that the device was able to place the chest tube. The lung injury, again, there was a blue here, but that blue is non-existent because there was no lung exposure with the stylet, while the other devices, the trocar and the calibre clamps, had a significant degree of exposure to the lung surface. Coming to the price, the product cost $35 to develop, to bring to the market. The listed price for the closest comparison is $368. The stylet does not have a competitive device in the market as of currently. It is $8 to produce, and $35 is the list price. With 1 million procedures and a 2.3 billion market, the kit offers a very incentivized entry point with a product which is safer than what is conventionally available. The product pipeline, current products are what we described earlier. The future products include extension into the general surgery drainage catheter market, internal catheter markets, and also fluoroscopic interventions, which are blue oceans untested as of yet. We'll be open for questions.
Thank you. Okay, questions from the judges first, and if there's an audience question, make your way up to the front.
Or Demetra, so you mentioned sort of marketability. Is it FDA approved? Is it available for the market now?
Yes. It's FDA approved Class 1 device, and it is stocked and market ready.
Okay. And is it made with the tube itself made out of silicone?
Correct.
Okay. So how does it compare in compressibility to a normal chest tube?
as of yet, but at 16 to 18 French, the drainage continues.
But compared to your price, what's the level of reimbursement to the price?
So the closest comparison is the vein drainage kit, and the billed price or the institutional purchase price for the kit is what was mentioned, the 368. So that is the price point available in terms of marketing it as a safer, faster placement product. I have actually submitted it to Johns Hopkins, Oxford, and Dartmouth with very favorable responses from the leaders in chest medicine.
And what was the size in terms of the studies with the clinical data that you showed? How many procedures or patients did that include?
So the data provided was the same study. It was a simulation study. It was not a clinical study for head-to-head comparison. We are proposing the clinical studies. We are working on the IRB protocols. Because it is a class 1 device, it was not a 510K requirement because the indication and the usage are similar to chest tubes, which are class 1 devices.
Audience members that have questions, come on up. Here we go. Okay. Come on up here. Got a couple, looks like.
Have you compared it to the pigtail catheter? You mentioned the weight pneumothorax kit, but I didn't see a comparison with that pigtail catheter, which is, in my opinion, replaced the majority of the surgical chest tube placement.
Yeah. So the pigtail catheters and other devices without the pigtail, they all use the Sendinger technique. We do not use the Sendinger technique. We use the device placement and then we slide out the stylet and the device is placed. It is retained in place as a balloon catheter. So there is a balloon that is holding the chest tube inside without the sutures.
What is your stylet made of?
Stylet is medical grade steel.
So, since you haven't done any human studies, how do you know that on the reinflation of the lung's not going to get punctured because of the stylet?
The stylet is blunt, number one. Number two, it is removed by the time we place the chest tube. It doesn't stay inside. It is removed after we have placed the catheter. The only thing staying inside is the catheter and the balloon. That is part of the catheter.
And how is your insertion device superior to a manual incision?
The manual incision, as you can look at the stylet angulation, it prevents direct tip of the catheter tip of the stylet is not pointing towards the lung. And in our sim studies, we were able to show that there was least amount of exposure to the lung surface. We have zero, the tip of the stylet never touched the lung.
And last question. If a lung gets very stuck to the chest wall, how do you know that it's not going to cause a malposition?
That's where the 360-degree rotational control comes in. This can be actually at the phase 2 level or the clinical class 2 device level. It can be used for lysis of adhesions because you have rotational control as you are placing it.